down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to The Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Man, I know I get excited, but I'm real excited about this one. Oh, shucks. We're going to talk about private money prospecting meeting. What is that?
Well, the meeting is a group meeting, generally held in a hotel.
So you put this on?
Yes.
And do you advertise for this?
I did. I advertised primarily on my radio show.
Okay, you said, hey, Monday the 15th, we're going to get together
at 7
at...
o'clock at the Holiday Inn Northwest or whatever the case might have been.
And then how many... So you marketed for how long did you market for?
I marketed it for maybe 60 days.
Okay, so 2 months. And then you put it on your radio show. Of course, you had a lot of listeners back then.
Maybe I run an ad in the newspaper in the business section the week before.
Now, does this affect the FCC ruling? Because you're just saying, what are you saying?
It's an informational meeting. If you'd like to know more about how you could put your money that's in an IRA or in CDs to work and make a much higher return with a safe and secure real estate investment.
Okay. So you advertise this on the radio.
No obligation.
No obligation. Come check it out. Do you have to be an accredited investor?
Accredited by who?
Well, like the government looks at someone that has $1 million.
No. That's for stocks and bonds.
Okay. I just want to. Some people may think that.
No, you don't have to be anybody other than
a human being.
You have an interest in knowing about this. You don't even have to have the money to invest if you want to come.
Just come check it out.
Matter of fact, several real estate investors have sat in my meetings when I knew damn well they were going to invest anything with me.
Hey, that's going to be
so open me. To the public. They're
you didn't know that was me. I was 12 years old back then. I'm just playing.
Well, there's some others in town that have. I guarantee you.
Oh, I can't imagine. So you rent out this hotel. How much is it usually that I mean, this has been a long time since you've done this, but how much was the hotel? Do you remember?
You always negotiate with them. And
a couple $100,
anywhere from a couple $100 to $500, depending on when you rented it, how many times you used it. Like, for instance, one time I did it. Seems like we did it Thursday night, Saturday afternoon, and Saturday night.
Whoa, you went all serious.
Yeah. And it was. I seemed like we did that at $500, but that's been several years ago.
Okay,
whatever.
Did you have a timetable on there? Or was this an hour meeting, 2 hour meeting?
Yeah, normally it was a 2 hour meeting.
All right. What did the room look like?
They were normally a room that would seat maybe 60 to 80 people. They would set up the chairs, and we would normally offer coffee and water.
And you had a video presentation?
I had a video presentation that started running before the meeting, and it had audio and video.
What time did you do this on a Thursday night?
Oh, let's say 7.
Okay, so 6:30.
About 6:45 or something, I would start the video, because you'd have people dropping in. We'd have somebody doing a sign-up sheet. Yep. Usually somebody very personable. My wife did them for me for a while, and other people.
She's an amazing woman.
Anyway, they would sign up and tell who they were, and she would give them a packet of information, which says in writing what I'm going to say in the meeting.
Tell me about the ambiance. What was it? Was it sterile, the room? Was it cold? Did it smell well?
Yes, we made sure everything looked and was good. And we didn't go to some cruddy motel. We went to Marriott's and Holiday Inns and those kind of places.
So it was a classy, looked like a business seminar of sorts.
And you want to be dressed appropriately. And
no shorts?
Stephen, in your case, perhaps. I just don't think Stephen's... I can see you in a tuxedo, a little bow tie for the tuxedo, a ruffled shirt, and Blue Moon shorts.
Pat, you are... I had lunch with a banker yesterday. I actually had a long sleeve shirt on and a collar.
Wait, and you have pants?
I had shorts on.
Okay, there you go.
And this is so the banker was like, "Wow!" I said, "Yeah, this is the most expensive shirt I own to date."
Well, that's kind of say. I see you with half a tuxedo.
Yeah, and this is what I said to him. I said, "There's a really good friend of mine, and I don't know if you know him. His name's Pat." And he said, "If you want to borrow from a banker, you got to look like a banker."
Absolutely.
And I mean,
he can't help it. It's subconscious.
No, just a sales technique number one: mirror.
Yes, and absolutely. So you're going to be in a business attire, and you're going to have business-looking location, and you're going to have business-looking handout that you're going to give
brochure of sorts. Okay, swag. Okay, there's a table in the back of the room. Is there anything on that table?
Yes, normally what I would have is I have some little stand-up...
like a banner?
No, some little stand-up deals that hold pictures.
8.5 by 11.
Well, they hold about 6 or 8 5x7s.
Oh, like something from your house, like pictures of a house, like a fancy thing.
50 houses shown on them.
Okay.
And I have a little address. This is 2119 Northwest 19th
Is this
Street.
your portfolio?
Or it's just some of my houses.
That you've already flipped or whatever? Okay, so you're
And
just
it'll
showing
be
like,
on the back wall.
so this is your credibility kit in physical form.
They can walk by it.
Oh,
And they can
I remember
refer to it or
this.
ask
You showed me
questions
this.
about
You used to
it.
carry
Sure.
this thing.
Yeah.
Was it that tall, look like an Asian foldy thing?
That I would carry on a one-to-one meeting. But now this is a group. That's too small to see in a group. But they were little portfolio things that you put 5x7 pictures in. It would each one of them would hold 8.
Okay.
And I'd have 7 or 8 of them back there with 40 or 50 houses that I've done over the years.
Okay. So is there music playing?
No, that's all in the background on the video that I have. It's all in the background.
So people are chatting. People are entering this thing. They're meeting
walking
your
around looking,
beautiful
listening.
wife. That golly, she needs grace dealing with you.
That's right, she
She's
does.
smiling.
Yes.
She's taking people's hi. Welcome to the, what is this called?
Well, it's called a seminar, an investment seminar.
Investment seminar.
Real estate investment seminar.
Please sign up. They grab a name tag.
Yes, she makes a name tag.
Okay,
She gives
got
them a name tag.
and they're milling around. This thing starts at 7. People start arriving at 6:50.
Yeah.
When do you greet them? What's the next step?
I normally would try to greet them as they came in, somewhere as they sat down or whatever, and shortly before I started. And if I didn't get them all greeted, because a lot of times there'd be some come in right at the start,
Right.
then I would introduce myself and I would welcome everybody. And then I would start and it's on my video behind me. Now, she's turned the sound down so that my voice is speaking rather than the video audio portion of the video is still playing.
Okay.
And I go down the 5 reasons why real estate is the single best investment in
And
America.
we covered that.
I do that one-on-one
while
with
back.
that little book that you ask about, or I do it in group with the video big enough for everybody to read and see.
Okay.
And then I tell it to them while I show it to them, and I go through all of those reasons.
Now, do you ask for people to ask questions?
No, I just go on through the entire presentation.
And how long does that take?
It'll take about 15 minutes. And I tell them at the end, I'll open it up and we'll have as many questions as you'd like to ask. So please hold your questions right there.
Okay, that's fine. So you're going through this whole presentation. It takes how long? 30 to 40 minutes?
15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, so it's real professional.
And it's pretty concise.
Okay, and the 5 reasons why you should be in real estate.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
And after we've done that, now we explain what are the differences between collateral and non-collateral investments, which is a mortgage versus stocks or whatever. And then below that, we go into some actual examples of properties that we're working on.
Today.
And they're up on slides.
14
And I
Elm
may
Street.
have this painter in one and a drywall guy over here and somebody spraying insulation in the next one.
Oh,
or
okay, so you
whatever.
got to see workers working.
And
That's where your money's working. Your money's working.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
And then here are some pictures of the last one we completed. Remember, we were spraying the insulation in the attic? Well, this is the house. This is the living room. This is the dining room. We do a walkthrough on the video. And we say, now this investor put up, whatever, $40,000.
$40,000. Okay.
The house is now worth $67,500. It is currently on a lease purchase. The guy gave me $5,000 down. He's paying me $700 a month. He's got 3 years to close, whatever the terms were. Mm-hmm. If that happens, this is how much money I'll make. But more important to you than that is this is how much money my investor will make.
And you say investor. You don't say you.
My investor will make. And he will do it by getting a check in the mail every month. And I'll show a little man walking out to the mailbox and getting his check.
Okay, great.
And that's all he's doing. I'm doing all this other work. He's just doing this.
Good job, Pat. This is great content.
Now, if you'd like to have an individual consultation with me about how this would actually work in your life with your investment portfolio, please feel free to schedule an appointment with me, and I'll meet with you one-on-one for as long or as many times as you need to feel comfortable with this investment.
Okay.
Folks, thank you for coming. If I can answer questions, the floor is open to questions.
How long have you been doing that?
2000.
Since 2000.
1999,
So you flippantly said off radio that you've done it 100 times. How many times do you really think you've done it? Is it 100 or
no,
more?
it's probably quite a bit more than that.
And so you just made this your business model. How often did you run this seminar?
About every 90 days.
Every 90 days. So once a quarter.
In Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
Okay. And then, so you were raising private money down in Tulsa for your Oklahoma City deals?
Sure.
Wow. So you've done this.
Would you rather have your money 100 miles from home? Would you rather have your money on Wall Street where you don't know anybody and they sure don't know you?
Okay. I like it. Okay. So you do this 15, 20-minute presentation. This is where and I love what you said. This is where this is my investor's profit. This is my better than myself. Yes, I do this so I can make money. I like that. We're upfront and full disclosure. All right. Now we're at the end of the thing. Now I'm going to need to take questions.
Okay.
What's some typical questions?
All right. Well, before I do the questions, I say thank you all for coming in. If you're pressed for time and you'd like to have a face-to-face meeting, as you step out, my wife Mary or her sister Donna will be glad to take your information, and I'll call you for a convenient time for an appointment.
So have you done this before and no one's asked a question, or has it
Sure.
been lengthy?
But I normally have some questions in the audience from some of my people.
So you bait the table,
Well, I
or
want
whatever.
to get them started because nobody wants to be first.
Yeah. Okay. So you have some.
I've done it another way. I've said, now, right now we have a lull in anybody asking questions because I know nobody wants to be first. Ha. But this is the most singular asked question I have ever had in all the years I've done this. So somebody in this room is sitting here thinking this very question.
What is it? Tell me.
What happens if you don't pay me?
Ooh.
Big deal. I don't pay you.
And then you go into
And then I go into the whole deal about it being collateral and how that collateral would become your collateral and how you could either sell it or rent it or live in it or what you want to do with it after that point.
Okay.
And then I go into the next question if somebody doesn't start asking questions.
Okay.
And I feed them my own questions back because I know the half a dozen questions that most people are going to ask.
Yes, and I think it's just savvy.
Sure.
You need to prepare for that. Okay. So that's all good. Everything's great. Let's talk about this heckler. Is there anyone that's a negative Nancy in the room, and how do you shut that person down?
Well, depending on what they would say. I've never really had that. I've had a couple of people that said, well, I've done really well in the stock market. You're one of the blessed few. There's a few of you in here I bet you've lost money in there.
Ooh, so you reversed it.
So you're lucky and really great.
So
and that's probably smarter than most people.
So you try to
and
shut
you may
them down.
be smart enough to do it without somebody like me. And that's great. I admire you.
And so that's
then I go on.
And so that's the agenda. They need you. And you're not
Do
saying
you think they don't?
And no, I agree, but that's the persona without being arrogant.
Absolutely. I don't
Like,
mean it to
I'm a
be
servant.
arrogant, but I can show you why you're better off with me than you are with a stockbroker.
Confidence.
And I'm prepared to do that.
I was reading a book today. Success is built on confidence. If you can't ask people for money, you can't be successful. If you can't pick up the phone and call somebody, you can't be successful.
Well, I used to challenge stockbrokers all the time. If you want to take me on, come on the radio show, baby. We'll make you wish you hadn't come. Mm-hmm. Because you have nothing standing behind your stock. Well, I work for whoever, Dean Witter or American Express or whoever. I say, well, which one of those companies steps in and makes your investor whole if the investor makes a stock purchase and it goes down in value? Do you make them whole? No, I don't. Does the company? No, I don't. Okay, here the collateral makes them whole and generally makes them a profit.
Right.
Now, how do you compare what you do to this?
So the whole is the collateral.
That stops. I guarantee you, I've had them call in a time or two on the radio show, and before the first three sentences are out of their mouth, they're saying, look, I can call you back later because I've got something I've got to take care of now. I'm sorry I bothered you. Hang up. You never hear from them again because they realize this is not going to turn out in their best interest.
All right. So all these 100 and something times, no stories of hecklers or anything
Very
negative?
very little. And I normally can handle them pretty good.
And you just crush them down?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the yield?
Just like you do me, Stephen, when I talk too much.
I try. You don't talk too much. I want to get as much information out. I think you're a great teacher. My followers out there, I think that's why they tune in. Is just like they want the information. They appreciate you. They want to apply it.
I'm joking.
No. I think. I wouldn't have you on the show. I think you're incredible. So, all right, let's get back to this one. What's the yield here? And what I mean by yield? You've done this 100 times. You do it almost every 3 months, almost every quarterly. Was it a yield like a room full of 10? Because there's my high C analytical people out there that quantify everything.
Okay, your high C person is never going to make this loan. The sooner you get rid of them, the better. They're never going to do this deal.
They'll just overanalyze.
They're going to analyze it to death and never do anything.
So your personality profile that you're looking for is an outgoing person?
Not necessarily. But
a D? How about a driver like me?
A D often will do it. The steadies, the S's, are very likely to do it. The intuitives are likely to do it. The I's.
Yep.
The compliant person, the C's, as a group, are going to study the things and argue about the bylaws of the Oklahoma Real Estate Act or something, and it's just never going. You could do them. I have been blessed with enough investors that I won't do them because I don't want to be bothered.
No, man, that's a great point, and I'm really glad that you told me that. I'm studying DISC. I've been a fan of DISC forever. I'm teaching a class right now, and I beat into their head. That's if you can't deal with people and communicate with people, you can't buy their house, or you're going to lose a lot of deals. You got to mirror people. You got to know what their personality is.
Well, I work on that thing I told you before. SW. Somebody will, somebody won't, somebody is waiting. So what?
All right, here's another.
You're not an answer for every single person. Probably less than 10% of the people who come are really investors. Maybe that will actually do business with you. Now, they may be investors and they may be thinking about it. Everybody's thinking about it. There's probably 3 or 4 tempted to do it for every one that'll actually pull the trigger.
So you're saying 30 people show up, maybe 3. You might get one person out of that deal.
Three or 4 people, maybe 3 or 4, maybe only one. But let's say I get one. Okay. Let's say he's got $200,000. That's 4 $50,000 deals. How many were you going to do this month?
No, I'm fabulous.
See, it's enough. It's my point. It's enough.
And just to slip the cat out of the bag, we're doing this radio show to build relationships with people that have interest. That I feel bad that people are not getting the return on their investment. When I was on that beach and this guy was an anesthesia doc, he has so much money and he's not getting a return. I want to help him.
I guarantee you. And if you don't help him, he's going to put it with a stockbroker and win some, lose some, and be about where he always was.
And guess what? They're going to make money on the management fees.
That's right.
And I feel obligated. I mean, I'm not trying to put this together, do private money so I can win. I'm trying to help other people win.
Well, I'll be honest with you. My reason was altruistic in the respect that I was trying to make money for me. But conversely, the simple way for me to make money for me is to show you how you can make money for you by helping me make money for me.
Zig Ziglar. The more I help other people, the more successful. If I want you to become if I want to become a millionaire, Pat, I got to help you be. Okay, here's another scenario. Or have you considered this? I went to something similar to this, and I think it was a stock market pitch, but they provided a meal.
Yes.
Have you tried that approach?
You could do that. It would greatly increase your cost.
And you're only yielding one, maybe.
Or 2. And yes, it would
every quarter you were yielding that many people?
Maybe 3 or 4 in a quarter. So now, here's what would often happen. It was hard to track it completely, Stephen, because let's say you came to the meeting, but you didn't do anything. But you heard me on the radio. But you heard me on the radio for the next 4 weeks because you were sort of interested. And then you call me. And then you meet with me, and then you do something. You actually were back to that first meeting, but I didn't realize it, so I might not have tracked you accurately.
No, that's good.
But over years, it built up to where I had people calling me that I couldn't remember exactly where they got my name from.
Now, how do you handle the people that they see your advertisement per se, or they hear about this investment opportunity, and they feel like they know because they've been abused before about they're going to get sold? I know that they walk into this room, like the people that follow me and know me as friends, they know that I'm not trying to sell them. Because I don't, so when you come to the landlord lunch or you come to my meetings, you come to the investor breakfast, hey, we're not trying to sell you something. And I try to put that out there very clear. I'm only trying to help people that really want to help themselves.
Well,
but how do you handle the people that damn, this is they're going to try to sell me some China. They're going to sell me a vacation home. Does that make sense?
I don't know that you have a perfect answer. I'm going to tell them this is a great investment. The more you look at it, the better you will like it. I encourage you to examine it and look at it and decide for yourself. And if it doesn't work for you, that's fine.
Yeah.
If everybody in this room wanted to give me $100,000, I'd have to turn 90% of you down because I wouldn't have any place to put it. And so if you don't want to do my investment, I certainly am glad you came and listened, and I welcome your questions and I welcome your comments. It's not for everybody, and if you do want to do it, I'd like to help you. If you don't want to do it, I understand. It's fine either way.
Okay, what trigger points? I noticed that when you were doing your slides up there, obviously you were talking about profit. You were talking about how large are those numbers, how small are those numbers?
My profit?
No, like on the slide. I made 30, my investor made...
Oh, okay. Well, let's say I bought it for 30. I sold it. I had 40 in it time I was done with it.
Okay.
I sold it for 67.
Okay.
Now I paid $3,000 in real estate commissions, so now I'm at 64. The difference between 64 and 40 is $24,000. That's what I made when I sold it. Mm-hmm. Now, during the year that I had it, we'll say, or 2 years or whatever it was, during the year, my investor made this much money.
And you calculate that.
I calculate
and you show
exactly
that number.
What that was.
And that's...
I don't give the investor's name.
No.
But I do show what he made.
Okay, because I see the great idea. Hey, I can't take everyone's $100,000 today. You just set a bar, and and you've also got them thinking what I can.
I don't care if it's 30,000 or $3 million. If I have 30 people in the room and all of you gave me $100,000, I'd have $3 million, and I have no place to put it today.
Sure.
And I'm not going to borrow it and pay you payments on it unless it's earning me money.
Well, you can't. We're not going to borrow anyway because we're going to have to fund an event. I mean, we're going to.
That's right.
We're going to put it in an escrow.
That's what I say. We're not going to do this until we find a house. Now, what I'd like you to do, if you're interested in doing my investment, meet with me. Let's determine if this is something you'd like to do. Then I'd like you to sign a letter of intent giving me some idea how much money you have.
Okay.
And I number those, and all the ones that have 30 go in one stack. All the ones that have 40 go in a stack, 50, and so forth, so that I don't call you for an investment bigger than you have money to fund.
Okay, so you touched on something that a lot of people didn't know. Letter of intent. When do you present that? There?
I don't present that till I've met with them in person.
Okay.
But
and what is a letter of intent? Let's cover that.
Okay, you say to me, okay, I want to do this.
Okay, I want to do it.
Okay. Stephen, I need you to sign this letter of intent telling me you've got $50,000.
Sign something. I'm scared.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You'll see. It's very simple.
Why do I got to sign something?
Because I need to know how to reach you, and I need to know what you have, so that I can contact you when I have an appropriate.
So there's
property.
not a signature on there; it's just an amount and my phone number.
That's right.
So don't say sign.
Okay. Well, I usually make them sign it. That they did it. I mean that they and it's not a contract.
It does nothing though. But why would you have them sign it?
I always do. I don't know. Maybe there's no real reason.
You
want to know how I do it. I'm trying to tell you, Stephen. I
love it. Okay. All right, we're back to our button heads.
I figure it means that they've made a commitment.
No, I agree. I think you should.
Here's what I say to them. This little form says, for your informational purposes, I expect that I would be considered an investment of approximately $50,000. And that money is in an IRA or that money is in CDs.
Qualifying them right there.
And the reason is it tells me how much lead time they need to get their money transferred. Because just because you've got an IRA, it may take me 2-3 weeks to transfer it to the proper custodian in order to make this work. Now, if your money's in a CD at the bank, I need to know about when that CD is going to expire so that we can take care of getting you in when your money's available. Now, I number them, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 29 or whatever. And so I know that in the stack I've got 30 people who said they had $30,000, and those are the people I call first. And if you're number 2 and you say, look, my money, I renewed the CD. I said, well, I'm sorry I didn't have anything for you at the time. You still want, oh yeah, I want to do it, but my CD's 6 months long. I write that on there and I stick you at the bottom of the stack because you've had your chance. Now, the person in third place is now going to be called for their chance. And if they're busy, the person in fourth place is going to be called for their chance, and the fifth and on and down the list.
Okay. Now, what I would have on that letter of intent, right? Is that what it's called?
I called it a letter of intent.
When do you want to start investing? Do you put a date on there?
Well, I'm assuming they want to start investing.
As soon as
that's
possible.
One of the things we ask them, because some of them have got their money in something that's going to take, my CD won't
like
mature
me,
until March 1st or whatever. Then I need to know that in that letter, see?
Yeah, it's going to take me 30 days to get you what you need.
Right. Now, if you say, well, I do it today, but I don't have the proper IRA, fine. My people will be in touch with you this week, and they'll help you get it transferred.
Okay.
Now you'll go on the list of people with money ready and available to make a loan.
Okay. Let's wrap this up. We got about 4 more minutes. So what do you think is most powerful? Just a one-on-one in the elevator or this private money lending presentation?
Well, from your standpoint, the private lending seminar is more powerful because you're talking to a lot of people at one time. I see no reason why you don't do both.
No, I think you should.
I think you should tell everybody you meet what you do and why they might be interested.
Absolutely.
And then you have seminars too.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem that people are going to have that they're going to listen to this, they're going to think that they can't do it. They're not tall enough, they're not smart enough,
okay.
They're not
I
speech
emphasize
enough.
There that the banks and the other financial institutions have led us to believe that we're not capable of doing these things for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We have a staff of people who have specialized in helping people such as yourself walk through the very simple steps, and there's no obligation. You stop at any time. We don't charge any kind of fee for that. We find if we don't help people like you the first few times, that you tend to not do it, and that's bad for you and bad for us.
So in your mind, this is a business. In your mind, this is like a lawn care business. I got invoicing, I got staff, I got gas, okay, so you're treating this like almost, in your mind, like you're a stockbroker and you have a fund, but you legally don't because you can't say that because you don't want to get in trouble. But in your mind, you're treating this like an entity.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Well, in some ways.
No, I like it.
It's a casual
business
entity. I mean, I'm treating it like I would any other.
Well, I mean, it's sophisticated to have.
I do the same thing. If you're a plumbing contractor, I interview you. I think you'd be good. You go on my list of plumbing contractors.
All right, we got to wrap this up. What's the last thing you would like to say about this presentation part? Because there's people that are on the edge. I want to do it, but I can't. I'm scared. I may mess up. I may not. Public speaking is the number 2 fearful thing of the society. What advice? What would you say? What would be one thing that you'd say to them?
Well, one way to get over that's to do them one-on-one.
Ooh, well said.
As you practice it one-on-one,
that's why I have you
can
here.
do it without even thinking about it.
That's why I have you here.
That's right.
I mean,
you see me prepare.
No,
I've done it
and every time I listen
times.
to you, I mean, it bleeds on me. And I just, Brian Nix, a friend of mine, over 60-something transactions, millions of dollars. He's at 80 units. That's all he does is private money, and he is so giddy over your podcast, over these podcasts.
Well, it's the matter of now. Brian's done it enough times. I'm sure if he wanted, wanted to do a seminar, he could do it very easily.
Yeah.
Now, if you had never done one before, I don't know how to start off with a seminar.
Sure. All right. Well, folks, that's it. Today, now you know how to put on a presentation, and you should go do it. Pat, appreciate you. You have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.